Hello, creative people! Today I am going to be testing out some alcohol inks. I'm planning on making a fall colored bowl. So before I do that, I'm going to test out a bunch of different colors of inks, just in some fall colors. And the reason for this is I don't know which one of my alcohol inks is a warm color or a cool color. It's kind of the problem with these alcohol inks. They don't tell you that. You can go and buy pencil crayons and paints, and then you can know the tone, you can know the hue, you can know the saturation, you can know all those important details when making your color selection. But unfortunately, with alcohol inks, that is not the case. So I am going to test out a bunch of different combinations of reds, oranges, and some yellows, and see what color combinations will work best for my bowl that I want to make. So I'm going to give these a little shake, and I'm definitely going to get some gloves on because these like to make a mess, and we'll get prepared for that with this. And in the spirit of fall, I changed out my tablecloth because fall means Halloween is coming, and that's the best. It is the most fun holiday. It's very symbolic to me being pagan, and I just absolutely love it. So I'll be doing some fall and Halloween crafts over the next few weeks. So I'm going to do a couple different tests. This is just a piece of paper in a laminated sheet. You can get self-laminating sheets at Dollarama. This is also a really great way to make your own dry erase board if you wanted to, and that's what I use these for in another project. And then yeah, you just put whatever color paper you want in there. So I'm going to start with the Tim Holtz Ranger. I got Crimson, Dandelion, and Valencia. And all I'm going to do, let's try and open it, is just make several drops and just kind of collage these a bit and kind of figure out how these are going to mix together, and if I can mix other brands and how they're going to react. Just kind of see if I end up with muddy colors or if these colors are going to mix well together. And all I'm going to do that, moving around a bit, take this piece of paper and soak that ink up. And I'm just going to let that dry. I'll even do two. I got lots of scrap paper. And see how those turn out. See, these colors are working well together. They're not getting muddied. A little alcohol to get that off. And start again. And I'm just going to go on just like that. So I got a lot of the pinatas. And I got quite a few variants. Well, we're going to use the Sunbright Yellow. I'll start off with a Tangerine, because that's an orange. This is a red here. So I got two oranges and two reds we'll play with, but we'll keep the same yellow. So Sunbright Yellow, Pinata, and Tangerine. Outside, kind of, they spread quite a bit. And then this red, let's throw that in the middle. See how that interacts. Losing some of that yellow. And then press. And that is going to give me an idea what these colors are going to look like together before I go in and waste my resin. And then with more yellows. So this is a great way to test your inks out before you do your project. I'm just going to rinse and repeat. So I'll use the Sunbright Yellow again in this one. I'm going to use the Sangria and Calabaza Orange. Terrible pronunciations, terrible. Go some yellow. Try and go in a little dry spot here. That's still a little bit wet. That's the Sangria, so we'll go with this one. That's very red. Reddish orange. Let's see what the Sangria does here. And that one's going to be dark. See how much of a difference there is already just in these colors. So let's get on with another color combo here. So now I have a no-name brand. I thought I had an orange in this. I guess not. Nope. All right. So it's just yellow and red, which is going to make orange anyway. So I'll do a couple of these drops. Wow. Just sprays everywhere. Want some just red, so I'll put some on the outside there. That's why I don't like these. They're just a mess. All right. Is that really mixing in there? I don't really see an orange. Let's see what the paper tells us. And these stink. They say they're odorless, but they're not. All right. And that looks like smallpox. Okay. Probably not going with those. I guarantee that right now. Now I'm going to mix some different brands together and see what happens next. I really like this orange. Or is it this orange? Let's try this orange because it really got overtaken by this red. And then let's mix in this Santa Fe red. And I really like this yellow. It's really bright. So let's see what we get out of these guys. See how well the Pinata mixes with the Ranger. Ooh, ooh. I think I just lost my orange. Throw another orange spot in there in the middle. Wow. Well, that's kind of cool. I'll have to label these when they're dry. I think I gotta tone down that red a bit. Maybe more brownish. Let's try that sangria. Try some sangria. So let's do these two again, but with the sangria. These Pinatas sure like to spread over the Rangers, most definitely. That's a nice dark red. See how it works with these two colors. So it kind of has those brown hues to it, which you get with the leaves in the fall. Let's see, what else should we do here? Trying to keep these somewhat organized for my notes. Let's try this tangerine with this one with the crimson. I feel like I'm playing Clue. It was Colonel Mustard in the library with the candlestick. All right, so I got lemon, do my tangerine, and crimson. I'll mix a little bit here. That's a kind of a nice combo. I think this one's gonna be nice. Yeah, I like that. I like that combo. Maybe I'm just limiting myself to just 3 colors isn't enough. Maybe I need to go with more options. So let's give that a try. Let's mix in all of them. So do the dandelion, do some tangerine, or no, Valencia. I do like this crimson, but let's do the Santa Fe. Where's that one? That's kind of, that was that one, I think. And then let's throw in calabaza orange. Let's do this guy. I think we're gonna need some help on that yellow. So let's get out our Sunbright. We lost our dandelion. Push some of those guys away from each other. I'll layer in another dandelion over here because we lost it. There we go. Now it's kind of swirling together a bit. A little more orange. Let's throw some sangria on the edges here. And then maybe one of these guys. A couple of these. Bring some of those colors in. Kind of mix them around a bit. Just for why nots. Try to get most of those colors in there. There we go. That's quite vibrant. I'm trying to get most of this. Yeah, I like that. Well, this one anyways. Just more hues coming through, so it's a little more interesting. Might as well keep going. Absorb all of it. Give it all to me. So yeah, anyway, that's how I do, one of the ways I do alcohol ink testing. And one of the ways that you guys can do that to plan ahead on your project, just to save some sadness and tears later on down the road. That's what I'm going to go with. And that's how you decide what colors you want. Just do this. And it gives you an idea on how you can plan ahead on what colors you want to use if you don't know which ones are warm or cooler hues. So, you know, like the Sunbright Yellow is a cool, the Dandelion is a warm. So you really got to know which is going to work well. So, you know, Valencia and Tangerine, this is cool, this is warm. So you got to be careful when you're mixing colors, because then they get muddied if you're not mixing, you know, the right hues together. Here's some muddiness in here because they mixed. I do have warm and cool colors combining in here. Alright guys, if you're enjoying this video, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button for me. I do this as a living, so getting my channel out there is really going to help me out. And I do very much appreciate every one of you that has subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much. Alright, so all these are dry, and I have written down all the names of my inks that I used. So now I can go and throw those into my swatch book for future reference. So these come in very, very handy, and they're such a great idea to do. So yeah, those were all the results now that they're dry. They've been sitting out for a little bit, but I did go ahead and make my bowl. It ended up cracking, so now it's a plate. So that color combination that I chose worked out pretty well. I didn't get any muddied colors. I did have something go wrong, and I'm trying to remember what it was. This was a couple weeks ago I did this project. I ended up adding mica powders in here, and something bad happened. Anyway, it didn't work out, so now it is a plate for my plants. But yeah, like all this mica powder in here did not mix in, and it turned out something bad happened. I don't remember what it was now. But the color testing beforehand did work out really good. I didn't get muddied colors, and that's what this video is about, not my ugly plate. Anyway, so just wanted to share with you that really brilliant idea and how you can, you know, save yourself some time and money and headaches just by doing a couple quick tests. These pieces of paper dry incredibly fast, and also a good way to tell if your alcohol inks are warm or cool. If you still are having a hard time telling just off of this basic test, you can put them in a window and let the sun kind of fade them out a little bit, and then you'll start seeing undertones in your colors. So undertones are colors that are the base color that started the overall color end result. So sometimes your base color will be like blue, and that would make it a cool color. A lot of yellows are also base colors, so that would make it a warmer color. Because generally your reds, your yellows, your oranges are warm colors, your blues, your purples, and your green are cool colors. But that is not always the case in color theory. I worked in a paint shop, and I have my paint mixing certificates, and a lot of colors when mixing paint, whether it be pink, blue, yellow, purple, whatever, start off with your yellows. So your ochre yellow is usually an undertone for a lot of colors, which would technically make that color a warm color. So that's kind of the explanation under undertone colors. And a good way to find that out is letting your colors fade. And then you should start seeing greenish, bluish, yellow hues coming up through. And that will tell you if your color is warm or cool. Because I can tell you right now, like a lot of brighter colors too, like this is a cool red. These are warms. Like this maroon color is definitely warm. So there are some that are very obvious. This Sunbright Yellow, cool yellow. The Dandelion Yellow, warm. So, you know, just because they're yellow doesn't make them warm. That's that undertone that's going to decipher that for you. So on my website, I also have a spreadsheet that is free to download. I have the brands that I have used and currently own. I don't own all the colors of Pinata. There's tons of them. So I'm putting all my brand names on there, the color number, the name tone, so that is your warm, cool, neutral, and grays. The saturation, so, you know, from transparent to opaque. Whether they're light fast or not. So if any of these colors fade, I have that information on there for you. Some of them actually surprisingly do, despite what the website says. Also have a part in there where you can put your color sample, so you can print it off and do your own swatch with this, and a section for notes. So if you guys want a really quick, easy reference, you can download this for free off my website. It will be in the scrolls tabs. So that's where I keep all my free downloads for all my viewers. And yeah, so I put the time in for you guys to have that readily available for use. I am weird and I like making spreadsheets, so I will save you the time and trouble. And anyway, so yeah, that is my little tidbits for this video this week. Make your alcohol ink test before you do your projects. Find out what colors are warm and cool. It's a little bit of a process, but it is worth it in the end to spend that time and go through your colors. When I did the 10 bloom techniques video, I didn't worry about what colors I was mixing in there, so I did get a lot of muddied colors. The main purpose of that video was to just do the bloom techniques, but now I look at it, you know, if I actually just bothered doing a couple quick tests on paper, I could have avoided some of those muddied colors, but it was just for technical aspects, not for color theory. So I hope you guys got some valuable information off this video. If you have any more input to add to this, that would be great. Let's share it in the comments. And do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. I am a small creator getting my content out there, so that really helps me out, and I really appreciate everybody that has subscribed to my channel already. So thank you so much. So I hope you enjoyed. Stay creative, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.